The easiest way to make 40% more sales with your e-com brand in 2025 is using your email marketing channel. I've been doing email marketing since I was 17 years old and have helped e-com brands make over 150K just using their emails. In this video, I'm going to break it down exactly how I did it. The first step in building your email marketing channel is setting up your pop-up form. Now, what is a pop-up form? A pop-up form is a sign-up form that you have in your website offering a discount in exchange for a phone number and or an email address. Now, this is where your entire email marketing strategy starts. This is literally the basis of where you get your emails. So again, it's a pop-up form that ranges anywhere from 15 to 20% off. It really depends on what you guys want to do. If you want to do a discount, if you want to give a free product, if you're offering a bunch of different items and some of the items have a higher margin, but generally you want to offer something valuable that people are willing to give up their email address for. All right, now that being said, you typically want to get anywhere from 10 to 15% conversion rate in your pop-up form, which means if you get 100 people to go on your website, you're going to get maybe 2 to 3 of them to actually convert if you have an average conversion rate in your website, but you're still going to have another 15 people that are going to be willing to put in their email address to get email marketing done for them. So that's what your pop-up form is for, to get people to subscribe to your email list so that way you're able to do email marketing with them. Okay, now your second step in building your email channel is setting up your campaigns. Now there's 2 ways you can make money with your email marketing channel. The first way is just using your campaigns, which I'll explain in a second. And then the second half is your flows, which is your welcome flow, abandoned cart. That's where you do all the targeting. Let's break down campaigns first. So what is a campaign? A campaign is a one-time email that you send out to your list asking for something in return, like a sale, a review, or something along those lines. Now there's 3 types of email campaigns you can send out. One is value-tainment content, which is all about providing a unique selling point or a feature and benefit of your product to your audience. Now, whether that's done through maybe a graph, whether it's done through maybe a text-based email, a nice pleasurable email that people could see and say, you know what, this is a cool design. Whatever way it is, it's a value-based email that gives value to the audience. Okay, now a few ways you could present this for your own brand is think about what are the things that people are going to do when using my product. For example, if you use something like an iPhone case, you could say, hey, these are the top 3 ways people have dropped in and broken their phone in the past. And you say, number 1, skiing. Number 2, cooking. And then number 3, walking down the hallway in class. And then you say you want to make sure that nothing ever happens to your phone in all 3 of those cases. Here's a shop now button. And then that's when you present, in this example, your phone case. So that's what a value-tainment based email does. It talks about features and benefits of your brand, more specifically your product, or a unique selling point that people could actually say, you know what, this is a cool product, let me buy it. The second type of campaign you could send out is your newsletter. Now, what is a newsletter? Well, it's pretty basic. All it really is presenting something interesting or unique that happened to your brand this week to keep your audience engaged, say, you know what, this is a real brand with a pulse. And then another way to do it is to have fun facts about the week. So for example, if you're selling, let's just stick to the phone case. If you want to stick to the phone case and you want to say, hey, these are 3 fun facts that you didn't know about phones. You could present them in that way and you could give people fun facts about maybe phones, iPhone cases, or just things about your industry. Now throughout the email, you're going to have multiple shop now buttons, one at the top, one in the middle, and at the end of every fact. Now at the bottom of the email, that's when you're really going to push your product. And then that's when you can say, hey, by the way, this is our week's bestseller. And then you could present your bestseller or one product that people really like. So those are the newsletters. Then the last type of value-tainment email we have is a sales and or promotion based email. Now all that means is an actual sale and you're giving up something of value, which is maybe a discount off, a percentage off, a dollar amount off, or maybe you're giving something free in return. Now, these emails, it's a common misconception. I talked to a lot of e-com brands about this, and they say, hey, listen, the reason I don't want to do email marketing is because I don't want to spam my email list with a bunch of discounts. And I 100% agree, you don't want to do that. Now, a good ratio of doing it is about 20% of the time that you do present an offer, make sure you do it in a very clean, unique way. Now, what do I mean by that? You don't want to just say, hey, this is all the products we have, and you want to use this, and that, and you want to have your best sellers here and your top sellers here, and you just want to give discounts every single time. Nobody's going to like those emails and they're going to get annoyed. But if you only do it 20% of the time, and in those 20% you make it a very short email, very concise and straight to the point, people won't get annoyed by it, but they'll actually be looking forward to opening your emails because they're saying, you know what, 20% of the time I have a chance of actually getting a discount. Might as well look. So we just went over your email campaigns, which is about half of the total revenue you're going to make with your email marketing channel. And the other half, you have what it's called flows. Now all a flow is a sequence of emails that get sent out to somebody in your newsletter based on an interaction they made with your brand. For example, if you think back to the last time you went shopping online and think, so you know what, I went in the shop, I browsed through a bunch of products and I went on their site and maybe I added a few products to cart, but I didn't go far enough to actually go ahead and purchase. Now I'm betting that there's a good chance that 45 minutes later, 24 hours later, maybe even 48 hours later, you got an email from them, if you're subscribed to the newsletter, that says, hey, you forgot XYZ product, here's a 5% discount, a 20% discount, a 30% discount to finish your order. Now that's an example of an abandonment flow. Now there's 8 core flows you want to put in within your email list to make sure that you're hitting every touch point within your customers. The first and most important flow you want to have is your welcome series. Okay, now what those emails actually break down to is the first email is supposed to be just a welcome email that says, hey, welcome to XYZ company, here's your 15% off or whatever the discount you're offering is, and here's a few fun facts about the company like features and benefits, unique selling points, etc., etc. Now you want to make this email short, very straight to the point and concise. The second is talking specifically about unique selling points and features and benefits of your products, especially because it's going to be a little longer and it's going to be more in depth in your products. And then thirdly, about the founder or how we started type of email. And the reason you want to have that is to make sure your audience feels a deeper connection with your brand and they're saying, you know what, there's a real person behind this. Now the next 4 flows are going to be called your abandonment flows, and I'll break it down to you. The first one is an abandoned site flow, which is as soon as you enter a site but don't do anything else, that email flow is going to be triggered. Second is your abandoned browse flow. Now what an abandoned browse flow is you go on the site and then you browse certain products. So you don't add anything to cart, you don't go to checkout, you don't buy a product, but you just go on the site and check out a bunch of different products. The third is your abandonment cart flow, which means you go on the site, you check a bunch of products out, and then you go as far as adding something to cart. Then the fourth one is your abandoned checkout, which an abandoned checkout, all it means is pretty much you go on the site, you browse a product, and then you go as far as actually going to checkout. Now those 4 abandonment flows are constantly going to be sent out because most people are not going to go to actually make a purchase, which is your post-purchase flow, but they are going to be adding a bunch of different things to your cart, checking out your website, browsing a bunch of products, or maybe adding some things to check out on cart. Now the next 3 flows are your retention flow, your post-purchase flow, and your win-back flow. The first one is your retention flow, which is important for brands that have repeat purchases or reoccurring purchases, which means after 30 to 45 days or however long your buying cycle is. So let's just say if you sell a protein powder, you notice that every 45 days people want to get restocked on the protein. After those 45 days and a person hasn't bought, that retention flow is going to fire off and say, hey, you know what? It's been 45 days. This is typically when people want to buy again. And then you could have catchy headlines like haven't restocked in a minute, haven't had if you're selling a drink, a sip for a while, things like that make it fun. Okay, next up your post-purchase flow, which is a flow that gets sent out as soon as somebody makes a purchase. Now there's 2 quick reasons why you want to do this. Number 1 is to build brand and dilute buyer's remorse, which is by sending them content about how to use your products, different ways people have enjoyed it in the past, testimonials, reviews, things of that nature to say, you know what, if somebody dropped $150 on my store, let's make sure that they actually feel like they bought something that they actually wanted to buy. And the other side is to make your orders worth more money. Now you do this in 2 ways. The first way is by having your cross-sells, which means, hey, I know you bought this product, I think X product would also look good. And then the other side, you have your upsells, which means, hey, you bought this $49 a month product, I think, this $99 a month product would look better for you because it has this many features and this many benefits. Do you want us to switch the order out before we ship it out? And then finally, you have what's called your win-back flow. Now, all a win-back flow is pretty much getting the people that haven't engaged with your emails in a very long time to come back to your emails and say, you know what, I'm going to start opening them and then ultimately have a chance of buying the product. Now, it's pretty simple how it does it. It's pretty much you just set a trigger within your flow that says, hey, after 90 to 180 days of somebody not opening our emails, they get triggered into a specific flow that's a sequence of emails that gets them to come back, which may mean offering them a discount. But think about it like this. If you're getting somebody that hasn't opened your emails in a very, very long time and there's a high chance that they never will again, you say, hey, you know what, this person hasn't bought. If I give them a 25% discount code, sure, I may cut down my margin, if not lose a little bit of my product, but ultimately I'm going to get this customer back and have a way higher chance of getting them to be a recurring customer. And the last step within setting up your email marketing channel, which by the way, a lot of people don't talk about this step, but I'm telling you, it's very important, especially for these bigger brands, is setting up your campaign calendar. Now, what is a campaign calendar? I'll break it down to you like this. Those campaigns that I was talking about a moment ago, like your valuetainment emails, your newsletters, your sales-based emails, those are emails you're going to constantly have to send out every single month. Unlike your flows, which is again a sequence of emails that you only have to set up once and you never have to set up again as long as you have the right trigger. With campaigns, you constantly have to make these emails and then launch them every single month. That being said, if you actually want to get 40% more sales with your email marketing channel, you're going to want to send out over 16 emails every single month to make sure that you're hitting every angle for your audience. Now, sending 16 emails may not seem like a lot, but once you're talking about your subject lines and you got to set up your preview text and you got to make sure that you're doing it on time and being consistent with it, there's going to be a lot of times where you're like, oh shoot, I forgot to do this email today and I forgot to do this email today and I forgot to do this email today, when it's so much simpler when you have a content calendar. So this is our personal campaign calendar that we use for our clients, and as you can see, there's a few different things we want to point out here. So the first thing is your campaign name, which is what it looks like in Klaviyo. The second is what type of email campaign it is. Is it a valuetainment email? Is it a newsletter? Is it a sales-based email? The next one is when you're going to be sending out the actual email. The next one is your subject line, your preview text, and then a link to an email itself, so you're able to see what the email actually looks like before you send it out. So that calendar was actually made on Notion by me and my team. If you want to get it for yourself, I just drop a link down in the description. Feel free to get it for you and yourself. Then that way you could use it for your own brands. But again, those are the basics of setting up a successful email marketing channel for your own brand. Now, action steps for you is number one, set up your pop-up form immediately. That's where the basis of everything starts. And if you get that set up the right way and you get a 10 to 15% conversion rate, you'll be good. Number two is to start creating your email campaigns. Now, if you want to start, I would only do 2 to 3 email campaigns a week. But if you're a bigger brand that has a bigger email list and you want to start doing this a little bit more seriously so you can make another 40% of sales, set 16 email campaigns every month. As a matter of fact, you could probably do more in some cases, but generally speaking, 16 emails is a good number. Thirdly is set up your email marketing flows, which again, your welcome flow, your abandoned site, abandoned browse, abandoned checkout, and abandoned cart flows, your post-purchase flow, your win-back flow, and then finally your retention flow. And outside of that, make sure to set up your campaign calendar for your email campaigns, which again, you have total access to in the bottom of the description. Or if you want to have some more help with your own email marketing channel without having to put any money down and only working with a team on a performance basis, my team's happy to have a chat with you. Feel free to book a time with my team. It'll be the first link in the description, and we're happy to see if we can help. All right, have a good day. Peace.